taken out once again for Shield. So
well, Gorilla did get threshed last game too, and we saw how dangerous that was. So a ban on that as well, and the LeBlanc ban against Ggoong. Okay.
So very interesting. This time Jax is going to be up, and NaJin has to decide whether they're going to let the Kassadin through again.
Yeah.
Now the Yasuo and Soraka have been the constant bans, and there is the Kassadin.
Okay.
But this does mean that Kha'Zix is up, TF is up, and Twisted Fate, the first pick for Samsung Blue.
Seems very risky, but they'll go with it. What do you think about that? That seems really risky.
Yeah, I'm not... I mean, Blue obviously thinking that the problem was the LeBlanc that was able to poke out the Twisted Fate last time around.
I guess you could make that argument, yeah.
They're trying for some more globals, and we'll see if the composition differs greatly or if they're going to go for the Nocturne. However, with the Kha'Zix up, one of Spirit's best champions, and they're probably going to take it in the jungle.
Yeah, I would imagine. And so 2 picks back over to Samsung Blue. Deft on the screen right now. Probably going to be a while until we see his pick. Oh, and Spirit may get to play one of his favorites this game. Will he lock in that Kha'Zix? And will we see possibly yet another top Lulu tonight? Lots of top Lulu lately.
Yeah, the Twitch last time, it really isn't Deft's style of champion, and Zefa has played it far more, so he didn't have a great performance on it. Zefa still putting a high priority on that, where they want to be able to use the pressure that Twitch provides on the map. Lulu snapped up also.
Okay. It's going to leave Nidalee open for Ggoong if he wants to play it, and of course with that Yasuo ban, it's a much safer pick. How is it against the TF, though? That's the question.
And, of course, the Lulu still a flex pick.
True,
Acorn
true.
has played it in both games tonight. 1 win, 1 loss, of course, as we head into Game 3. And the Nidalee pick will get pushed in early, but can be very effective, of course, in Ggoong's hand in the late game. And we may just see another Lulu rise top lane. This is very weird.
Yeah. Yeah, these games have not been what we expected at all. And Nami, okay, possibly the pickup. You know, again, more CC to add to the pick potential, but for that AD carry, you know, I feel like this is a good game. Well, for Kog'Maw, definitely going for it. And Gorilla, will he pull out rather one of his pocket picks? The Sona.
So Kog'Maw, this is much more of a comfort pick for Deft, very powerful,
yeah.
And Nami does provide a lot of peel. He's got the wild growth as well.
Oh, Leona though for Gorilla. They tried to force him into that Sona pick, and Gorilla wasn't going to have any of that.
Yeah, last picking that Leona, but that's a very dangerous lane for Twitch. Of course, the passive from Leona, the Sunlight procs can really do a lot in terms of putting on kill pressure.
Yeah.
Save again, he's saying, I have the better map awareness, I have the better use of teleport. I was able to get ahead in the last game. Even in the lane swap scenario, I made the plays, helped out with the dives. I think I can do it again. I think I can ramp up into that late game, but it is dangerous. Twisted Fate is on the map, so is Kha'Zix. Save will be very vulnerable once these champions hit 6.
Well, he's going to go with it. Nothing like a little bit of confidence to go into a tiebreaker game. Seems reasonable to me. I'm looking forward to seeing what Spirit can do on Kha'Zix in the jungle. It's a pick that a lot of teams are afraid of, and he's finally getting the opportunity to play it.
I have to say, Joe, I'm very surprised that we didn't see Save pick Jax this game, just because Jax can jungle better and has that same level of scaling as Ryze does, so it would give him a little bit more flexibility in terms of where he can go on the map and the speed at which he can gain an advantage on his opponent. And then NaJin White Shield could simply have done a lane swap, initiated that, shut down the Lulu, and had a top lane advantage. So I'm not sure I like this. It was the first time Jax was up, and they had the chance to last pick it.
We'll have to let him know. Well, looks like it's it's Giant Annie Man, and he's got an hourglass. He's got his own hourglass. That's my kind of Annie. All right, it's time to get into Game 3, guys. Let's do it.
The system is ground. The system is ground. There's a hope I can help that I love. I steel myself to resist. I am an animal, life prepared. A flaw with a flaw, but I swear
right, guys, welcome to Summoner's Rift. Samsung Blue versus NaJin White Shield. A tie match here in the Champions Spring Grand Finals. The winner of this game will be one game away from taking home the Champions Cup and an $80,000 prize.
So we did see two wards, one for Spirit, one for Heart at the start of this game. And Samsung Blue has consistently had the better level ones tonight, but NaJin Shield has been tenacious. They've kept the games long, and Ggoong was able to pull it out in that last game just due to some better map movement from Save and the fact that they were so willing to dive turrets.
Yeah.
But Samsung Blue does have the couple wards up, one at their own buff so they can detect any invades coming in, and one on the other side while Lulu runs interference at the other opening to the jungle just so Spirit can be safe. Of course, if that glitter lands first, you will be able to slow down anybody and get your jungler out of there as necessary.
Yeah, generally it's a good first pick for abilities on Lulu in nearly any situation. Yeah, I think one of the big sort of pressure points for this match is going to be Gorilla's Leona.
It will be, and Heart has gone for that Spell Thief. They want the 2v2.
Oh, he's going in right away with the Zenith Blade. He started on it, trying to get some poke in onto Deft. Zefa gets exhausted immediately, cutting his damage, but Deft is getting really low. They pop the Summoner heal. There's the flash. Gorilla going for it. It's not enough, and there's the flash. Oh, first blood goes to Zefa. What is going on?
Heart is still chasing, though. Zefa's getting
so
low.
Bloodthirsty. Can Nami do it? He's only got autos, though.
And he's cooled out 1 second. Can't do it. No flash. But it was still a good move. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Zefa will now no longer be able to get a farm and level advantage over the enemy AD carry.
Pretty huge.
And in fact, Heart is going to be the one person in that lane getting experience. So even though he didn't get a kill, that reverse on the all-in was still a good idea.
Yeah. Let's watch a replay of that. Just really smart move by Gorilla right away, getting that Zenith Blade at level 1. You never see that. Deft certainly wasn't expecting it. They were able to just poke him down. A little bit of fancy flashing.
This was a little bit greedy by Deft to come in. I don't think it was communicated very well to Heart, though they do trade kill for kill. But the Twitch does get the kill, whereas Deft does not.
Yeah.
So that could be a little bit of an issue. But Deft and Heart do hit level 2 first. So I think all in all, Samsung Blue came out ever so slightly ahead. Now they still have to watch the all-in. They are playing a dangerous game where they need to poke in order to be successful here. But there's always that all-in potential from Leona and Twitch, and you have to be super careful.
Right. And there's the thing, too, as well, where the early kills, don't count for quite as much these days. So it's not the end of the world. A bit demoralizing, but that is about it.
Yeah, 200 gold advantage for Zefa, and it'll grow a little bit as he is able to CS double Doran. So actually Deft just trying to build up a little bit tankier stats in the early game. Now we see Acorn teleporting all the way back into the top lane, and he's gone for 2 Doran's rings, so he's trying to play the bully while Save goes for tier. Of course, that common 4-minute tier onto a top lane rise, you go back immediately as fast as you can to buy that item so you can get your stacks and hit the power spike.
Yeah.
But Acorn has anticipated this, and he's going to be hitting really hard early. Save is going to have a tough time.
Yep. We'll see. I mean, it's all about that late game for Rise anyway, so he's certainly got time. Spirit, another big question mark in this game. Finally getting to play as Kha'Zix, but will he be able to make plays? Looks like he's thinking of sneaking in. Oh no, and now he can't. That pink ward spotting him maybe was going to make a play on the Ggoong, but not now.
No, certainly not now. And just going to fall back after clearing the ward into his own jungle. Dade taking some poke. And this is, TF is not the best champion at pushing a Lulu in, or a Nidalee in. So actually, we do see Ggoong able to put a little bit more pressure on this time around. Deft and Heart going to be perfectly happy with farming closer to the turret.
Oh yeah. All about feeding that Kha'Zix. Ggoong on your screen right there.
Spirit takes over in the mid lane while Dade goes back, picks up a Chalice. So his resistance against those spears will be just a little bit better, and Save taking bad trades up in top, but he's keeping up in CS.
Yeah, and that's really what you need. I mean, he's got flash yet, so he does have a bit of escape ability if he needs to. He needs that CS though. And Zefa and Gorilla just pushing the lane as hard as they can. And here we go, Watch coming in. They're going to try to make a play into Acorn, Rune Prison. And Acorn does get out of it.
Yeah, forces the flash. He didn't have any mana left over, but he did have just enough to get the Whimsy onto himself.
Well, that's the tricky part about playing Lulu as that bully, is that you do run out of mana fairly quickly. She's kind of a mana hog early on.
Especially, even though those Doran's Rings gen just doesn't have that Chalice yet.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with the amount that the spells you're casting are going to cost. It's easy to kind of overdo it with spells in lane as Lulu.
Yeah, some good wards down, but they have one in the Tri-Brush right now. Lee Sin, Watch, goes back, starts motioning towards the bottom side jungle. A few more camps there to clear out. Kha'Zix's just been pretty much farming so far. And Dade a little behind in CS, but Kog'Maw and Deft has caught up after being a little bit down early.
Yep. All in all, pretty even game. And now both teams, they've both tasted victory today, they've tasted defeat. And so I feel like overall we're going to see maybe a little bit of a quieter game 3. You know, both teams just trying to pull back, be a little bit more methodical. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong, but just my heart is telling me this.
Yeah, playing on the standard lanes now. So Dade, he's 6. He's making a move up to the top side, and there are no wards really. Just a little bit of a feint. Okay, so they have a pink ward right there, so they know there was no vision. And actually, I think they were trying to bait Ggoong out of lane so that Kha'Zix and TF could jump on her right then.
Oh, yeah.
Because they had a pink ward on that side.
That's a good point. Meanwhile, the battle of the mid laners continues. Nice spear onto Dade. A little bit of poke there from Ggoong.
Yeah, that's a really interesting play, actually, with that pink ward. If they can get another pink ward, and they can actually pull the Nidalee out of position, TF may be able to do a very short-range ultimate onto Nidalee and just mind gamer into giving up a kill.
It's possible. Acorn teleporting back to lane, as these top laners have been doing.
There's another ward coming in, but they need wards on the ledges to see exactly what Ggoong is doing, and that's up to Watch right now.
Yeah.
He's got to work with Ggoong in order to put wards where Dade so they can see exactly what he's doing. If he's just faking an ultimate, if he's just going to stand outside of lane for a minute to cause save and Zefa and Gorilla to fall back. But they just don't have that vision right now.
Yeah. Here comes Spirit up to the top lane. Will we possibly see a little bit of a dive here? Watch recalling. So save maybe a little bit vulnerable here. We'll see. Glitterlance doesn't connect. And Dade, yeah, they're going to dive in. Here we go. There's the game. There's the knockup with Wild Growth. And Dade gets him with the gold card. A clean gank from Samsung Blue.
And that's what they needed. Shut down save. Give that kill over to Acorn so he can continue to bully and rise out of lane. And this time, again, the ward just wasn't there. Ggoong had a trap. You can see it sitting right there, but Dade didn't step on it. Ggoong also missed his spear. Dade was ready for it, so he didn't get chunked before he goes into lane, and he does make the play on TF.
Dade threatening with that gold card there. With Ggoong not going to get caught.
And Deft falling pretty far behind now in terms of creep score in the bottom lane.
Whoa, Ggoong taking a lot of damage, but Watch is right there. Tried to get the kick off, but didn't end up working out.
Trades a little bit further with Watch.
Yep.
And junglers haven't had too much of a presence yet, although we did see Spirit help out on that gank in the top lane save. An early death in lane, though, for a top lane rise at a 1v1 isn't the end of the world, because the point is you're still getting the levels and you're still getting the farm, so you can afford to die and still be an absolute terror in the late game.
Yeah.
But I think the real mistake here from NaJin Shield is that they don't really have the best siege, and the best way to allow this rise to farm up and not be bothered by this TF is to maybe pick Lucian Nidalee and start early sieging towers so it draws the pressure to that lane, and especially because Dade is the only real wave clear on his team. Had they been able to actually put down more early turret pressure, I think Save would have been had an even easier time here after 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, pink ward in the lower brush. Spirit getting chased. Looks like he'll make it back to his part of the jungle okay. And some pressure now, a little bit of pressure onto that bot lane turret. The ultimate from Kog'Maw finally helping them push that lane up a bit more.
Yeah, it gives them some good poke as well.
Yeah.
They'll just go ahead and, well, looks like they're not going to back off. They know where Watch is.
Huh.
Or they don't know where Watch is, rather, just a ping onto the white.
Huh. So many stylish fans in our audience today.
As usual.
As usual. Yeah. Only the most stylish fans come to the studio. The epitome. Why did that word suddenly become difficult?
So Deft is going for a Trinity Force first here, and the reason why is he doesn't have the best peel this game. That he's not going to have that Soraka with a Rylai's like he's had previously.
Yeah,
so he needs that extra mobility and survivability.
Well, I feel like I've seen this before here. There we go, Dade. Looks like they're going to try for another dive onto Save. Just continue to shut him down. Gorilla and Watcher coming in, though. There's the gate. Can they get to Save in time? Save flashes. Oh, what a solar flare! They're going to trap him under turret. The gold card still goes off on Gorilla, but it doesn't save Acorn. They lose the turret, but a good counter gank claims Acorn as a victim for NaJin White Shield.
And look at that timing, too. They knew Ggoong had gone back to base right there and that he was returning to the lane, but Gorilla already setting that one up, knowing the timer.
Yeah, they're going to go in onto Spirit here. Watch kicks him over towards Ggoong. Spirit, can he escape? Trying to make it out, but he's going to run right through Dade. Dade, there's the gold card. The heal comes in from Hart. Now Dade in trouble. Gold card on to watch the tidal wave. May save him. No, it doesn't. Ggoong gets the kill. Meanwhile, the teleport from Acorn coming in, but he really can't do much at this point. That fight is over.
Yeah, it is. Spirit actually manages to make it out alive, but Acorn can't quite get there in time. Save now has the teleport advantage. Save was able to get some farm. He's now actually winning in farm into the top lane. So NaJin doing a great job of reading the map in order to take a very slight gold lead.
Let's check out a replay of this fight top lane. What a fantastic solar flare from
So
Gorilla.
good.
Yeah. Right into the Zenith blade. Beautiful. No questions anymore about that Leona play.
Well, it worked on them once, you know. Fool me once.
Wow.
But, yeah, that's
I can add the captions now.
NaJin.
Dubs.
Great setup. Great read onto Samsung Blue. And they turned it into something really good for themselves, even though they lost the tower.
Yeah. So they made the most of it. And now we wait until the next TF ultimate.
Indeed, but that won't be very long.
Not too long. And the one interesting thing, too, is that Dragon hasn't been as much of our priority this game. It's been all action in the lanes, generally.
Well, when you don't have that lane swap and you have the 2v2,
it's harder to do, yeah.
It is harder to do. And
get
also,
less of the turret for Dragon trades happening.
And also, with the TF ult, Samsung Blue was controlling the tempo of the game.
Yeah.
And if NaJin Shield went down to that Dragon with 4 members and without Rise, they would have left this Rise in a very vulnerable position instead of getting that great counter gank.
Well, the duel between Dade and Ggoong starting to go in Ggoong's favor in a big way. Kills in CS looking pretty good.
And look at this. So Save, in the first 2 games of the lane swap, we saw him go Tier, Catalyst, Boots with Distortion Enchantment. This time he's mixed up his build. Earlier Rob this time. And it's because he doesn't need the lower cooldown on teleport to farm waves because he's been in this 1v1. And he gets a very fast rod, about 13 minutes. So the power spike is going to come faster this time. But also, if he does go down and he doesn't have the teleport available as frequently, he could be punished a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, there's the gate. Are they going to make a play on this? There they are. Yeah, they're going up onto Save yet again, continuing to try to shut him down. Room prison on Dade. Dade has to do damage. It's close. But they get the kill. Dade gets that one, and NaJin White Shield immediately turns onto Dragon. Can Spirit maybe steal this one? Gorilla's trying to zone. I think they're going to have to give it up. Yep, Dragon goes to NaJin White Shield. Gold still nearly dead even.
And nothing they could do, but a good cross-map objective there, taken by Shield.
Yep.
In order to make up for that kill.
Have to do it. Oh, Flash, Deft still gets caught. Oh, the Zenith Blade connects. There's the tidal wave. Yeah, they need to disengage, but a big cube comes in. Watch, joining the fray. Deft gets low. Will he live? No, not quite. Zefa takes him out. Now Zefa in a little bit of trouble as Acorn teleports down. Acorn manages to get a kill combined with Zefa and Spirit. And now they're going to push that bot lane. That worked out so well for Samsung.
Well, Acorn did have the teleport right there, so he came in from the backside. And at that point, there's just too much CC. And not only that, but Deft picked up the kill onto Zefa as well, using his passive. So he does get a nice little boost to gold in spite of the fact that he dies. And Samsung Blue going to be pushing hard for their second turret.
Yep. They should get it. Let's check out that replay. Deft tries to flash, but just can't get away.
And look at this. Rise is still dead. So basically that 1 or 2 seconds allowed the TP to finish for Acorn. And by this time, it's just too late. Save definitely can't go into this after this fight has already been engaged, considering how low his team is. So had Save been alive maybe 2 seconds earlier, that fight could have looked a lot different.
Very true. And you can be sure that Samsung is keeping track of those timers, and they did a great job of exploiting that.
It was a very small timing window.
Yep.
Because if Acorn and Save had arrived at the same time, I think they have panned out just a little bit differently. But Acorn, of course, he has that earlier power spike, not only because of Lulu, but because of his itemization. Save, he's invested in these scaling items, and it's going to be another 5 minutes or so before he really is going to be able to take full advantage.
Oh, here we go. The gate activated again. Where will Dade end up? Looks like he's just using it for vision this time, not deciding to go in.
Well, that's a great thing, too, is you get eyes on the Twitch.
Yeah.
So
Twitches are tough to spot sometimes.
And Trinity Force now done for Deft. Gets that very crucial kill. Of course, he's still going to be behind in gold. Well, maybe not with the 2 towers.
Yep. Oh, they're going to go on to Dade. He flashes out of the solar flare. And that's going to leave this mid turret a bit vulnerable. Oh, minions cleared just in time.
Zefa taking the tail end of one of the wild cards. Deft now just free farming on a frozen lane. Save doing much the same up in top.
Yep.
So all focus now on the mid lane. It's the only lane where really anybody can make a play at the moment, but they can't quite get it down. And they just don't have the best champions for sieging. And I really think this Twitch pick was a mistake, Noah.
It's not working too well for him just yet. And maybe they can turn it around, but
of course
we'll
they did get the early kill, but it's at a time like this where having that powerful early siege where you can put pressure on will really help Save ramp harder.
It is
ramp
bizarre.
Faster.
It is bizarre that Lucian wasn't the pick, you know, especially with that synergy with Nidalee and, yeah, like you said.
Well,
oh, they're going to try to go in on Dade. Nope, just kidding. They're not. Just zoning. Denying some CS and allowing that lane to push up a little bit more.
yeah, the great thing, the only good thing about the Twitch pick, I think, was denying it, because if Deft had it right here, they would have had just insane pick potential with Twitch, TF, and Kha'Zix. So it's a good takeaway, but I think it is slowing down the pace of NaJin Shield's game. That said, Save is still doing fine. Yes, he's died, but he has kept up in CS. He has kept up. He's actually ahead in levels. He's gotten the freezes where he needed them. And he got the really early rod.
Yep. And who knows what that scroll on his back actually says. Could be a very powerful spell. I don't actually know. I wonder if that's part of the lore that I don't know.
I think it absolutely is.
It probably is, yes. But what does it say?
I think that's his secret.
Maybe he just has to go to the grocery store after the match and it's just his grocery list.
Wow, that'd be a pretty hefty grocery list.
He's a hungry guy, man. He needs to ramp up.
You got to feed the Rise, right?
That's right. Got to feed the Rise. He plays for the late game. Just says like peanut butter and eggs and stuff like that on it.
Watching Gorilla, waiting here. And now they're going to show. They're trying to make a pick on Dade.
Oh, Dade, nice dodge on the solar flare there, actually. Really good juke to get out of the middle of that ultimate.
They knew his summoners were down for just a few more seconds. Of course, now he's going to get his ghost back up.
Yep.
And Dade going for the Zhonya's Hourglass again. Just trying to be that initiator and to be able to just survive a little bit longer on these ganks, especially if he ganks Save. It may actually prove crucial so that he doesn't get bursted out. He can get that gold card and not be too affected by all of the rapid-fire spells coming out of Rise.
Yeah. Dragon up in about 20 seconds now. Ward's being cleared a little bit. Doing pretty far ahead. On save, man. Finally getting that CS lead. Yeah, NaJin seems to be starting to run away just a little bit with one. Things could certainly change, but edge goes to NaJin for sure.
The great thing about this Kog'Maw pick is it gives vision with his ultimate if you hit somebody. So it can chase people out. You get a lot better control over an area.
Whoa, Zefa just took a lot of damage.
That was actually crucial. Spirit, by doing that to Zefa, they're going to get pretty much an uncontested
I was going to say, yeah.
Dragon right here. And especially with everybody on the top side of the map, they're going to try, oh, they're not going to try and dive Acorn. Acorn attempting to save this turret, but he looks like he's going to be unsuccessful.
Yeah, I think they can take out the last little bit of it, but Samsung does manage to take the Dragon. So they trade objective for objective. And now a little bit of pressure onto the mid lane, potentially. No, not quite. Dade has to back off.
The nice thing about having that top tower up for NaJin Shield, though, was that it was actually bouncing the wave back earlier so that Save could farm a little bit safer.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that Acorn could create some sort of freeze right here. He's not going to do it, just fast clearing. And Save sticking around while Acorn goes ahead and looks for the recall.
Are they going to try to make a play on the Ggoong, but Ggoong already out of there? Why do Twisted Fate's cards sound like whips?
That is a great question.
No, they've got like little whips on the end. All four corners have a tiny little whip. That's painful.
Would be.
I bet.
Whip cards, huh?
Yeah.
It's the worst game of poker ever.
Whip cards, true. Try to turn it over and you're like, ah! I fold. I wouldn't want to play that.
No, who would?
Dr. Mundo. He'd be into that kind of thing.
He would be.
He would.
Both a sadist and a masochist, apparently.
That's right. He doesn't like to limit himself.
He explores the full range of sensation. Yes. Nothing is lost on Mundo.
That's right. Rated E for everyone. And here we go, a little bit. Nah, not quite so much pressure in the mid lane. False alarm.
Just holding on. And, I mean, Twitch and Italy are going to have a really hard time sieging this tower together with Twitch's immobility. And the fact that they've got all that great disengage. Hard will take a spear. And force a flash out of Ggoong. Dade in from the flank.
Ggoong forced the flash there. Not the best thing ever. And here we go. All right.
Save just again, going to freeze the lane up at top.
Gold card on the Ggoong. Watch is there though. And you need to be careful. Don't want Watch to make a play, kick out Deft or something. Dade takes the spear, but should be healed fairly quickly by Hart.
All right, crucial timing here. They're trying to take away this blue buff. Rise is fast pushing up at top. He wants to create some pressure so that Italy can get this very crucial blue. But the poke coming in from Kha'Zix, and the fact that Spirit is there. There we go.
Dade coming in, yeah, trying to get him there. This Zed play down on top of Tidal Wave. Knocks up a few people in this fight. Is all Samsung so far. Save a little bit caught. Still not quite tanky enough. Zefa trying to come in with a flank from the side. And that's a lot of damage from the spray and pray. Samsung needs to split up, but they get him with the gold card. Locked down with Aqua Prison, and Spirit finishes off Zefa.
And Save did try to teleport in, but he got locked up nearly immediately, and that are 3 huge kills for Samsung Blue as they open up the first significant gold lead of the game. They're going to be able to take the mid turret off of this as well, more than likely.
That little sign that the fan held up said, "This Samsung," which is, of course, a reference to the kind of the motto of NaJin right now, where people are, all the fans saying, "This NaJin," as in what a good team they are. Well, the fan said, "This Samsung."
Indeed. Well, they're looking strong this game. They pulled out. Let's take a look at that again. So, right here, what a great hold from Dade. Gets the gold card down, exhaust as well. And they just get rocked by this tidal wave. Hart doing a great job of buying his team some time to get that focus fire down. Zefa just not there. And, buddy, you don't want to be there right now. There's the gold card. Spirit gets him isolated. And in case he got away, there was an Aqua Prison to follow that up, but he did not escape.
There is no escape. Hart going for the Aqua Prison kill steal there. I like that. It's good. Oh, Watch has a magnificent beard, apparently. Maybe someday.
Well, there we go. Blue takeaway. Acorn going to be donated that one. So Dade, since he grabbed the other blue from the enemy team, doesn't need it. And this is a great situation. Deft has now hit another power spike by finishing the Blade of the Ruined King. So he's going to be an absolute terror. There's a teleport. They're trying to save it. Acorn.
Well, they've got enough wave clear. Yeah, they kill the minions quickly, but the tower is so low. There's the tidal wave. Will they engage off of this? Can't really do it. Watch takes some damage.
Yeah, Spirit not there, however, so they weren't going to try and go in,
There
or are they?
Go. Gate coming in. So, oh, what a Zonius to block the solar flare. It does slow him up, though, and NaJin will escape.
But it forced them around the turret, and here comes the minion wave. The better siege definitely going to Samsung Blue.
Yeah, are they going to try to siege, though, or are they going to try to make a pick over the wall? Hard to say. It's doing some damage. They've got that bot lane pushing up as well. Pressure onto the bot tier 2.
Spirit was doing a little bit of proxy farming right there just to get the wave to the tier 2 faster.
Makes sense. And that turret taking some damage. Dade taking a turret shot. Got to be careful here. They can't take too many turret hits. They need to keep their hit points up.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of sweeping out the side as well. The threat of the level of 14 Kazakhs on the flank. Pretty important, but it's just the poke from Samsung, and there's just not enough wave clear from NaJin.
Yeah. And here comes Samsung yet again. Coming through, they're going to get that tier 2. Oh, they catch Gorilla! Spirit with a nice capitalization on that gold card. Gets Wild Growth immediately to stay alive. Going for the reset on the Watch. He gets it. A kill as well for Deft and all that. The double, the triple, now for Spirit. And suddenly, things are looking pretty terrifying if you're a NaJin Shield fan.
Yeah, Deft still just doing a ton of damage with the auto attacks.
Deft all over Zefa, but Hart. Nice last hit on the champion there from Hart. Takes a lot of skill. It's our theme of the night, Monty.
It's the executioner position.
Last hit champions, that's right. Not supports, you're executioners. Right, it's easy to last hit minions.
And not to mention, there's a huge wave up at top. Samsung Blue going to go ahead and take a dragon as well.
Yep, not overextending at all. Good, smart decision there, waiting for some people to come back. And you've got to imagine they've got some money to spend too.
Well, I love what we see. Samsung Blue, as soon as Kog'Maw hit the second item, they go ahead, group up. They know they have a mid-game power spike because of the Lulu.
Yeah.
And the lack of wave clear. Again, this Twitch, you know, Ryze has to blow his ult, and as soon as Ryze blows his ult, a lot of the kill potential from Ryze goes down.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to respect the boldness of Samsung to come back with this comp, and let's take a look at this fight.
And he's invisible, so there's no follow-up really on his Spirit right there. Oh, I guess they can see him with the turret.
Yeah.
But he does take all that reduced damage. Spirit going to go ahead and jump back out. And, you know, maybe Spirit, maybe you don't go in for this last one. He does get chucked down by the turret and the poison. He's like, oh, I got greedy.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of action at Baron. Samsung getting pushed away from that one. Doubt they wanted to take it yet. Just kind of clearing out the area a little bit.
Well, they can do it really fast, though. Kazakhs and
Yep.
this Kog'Maw will be putting down a lot of damage. And I love the fact that Dade built this Zhonya's Hourglass early as well, because one of the major problems with this composition is a lack of primary engage.
Yeah.
The tidal wave is slow moving. That's typically not how you want to engage. Kazakh's jumping in. He's not very tanky yet. With the wild growth, maybe not the way you want to engage either.
Yeah.
So by having the TF, you can follow up with tidal wave and make sure that you're going to lock down at least one person, but probably multiple people.
Well, Hart's had a fantastic game on Nami, 2-0-9. That is really good. And like you said, using those tidal waves to set up a lot of successful picks in team fights.
And the scary thing, too, is if the Dade pulls a red card and you can't see Hart because of the fog of war, the red card can slow down multiple people, keep them grouped, and then the tidal wave just comes out of nowhere and knocks up 4 people. And at that point, you're just dead.
Yep, pretty much. Save trying his best to farm his way back into relevance. And he's still a threat, but not as much as he was before. I mean, if you look at Acorn, you look at the items for all of these Samsung players, they're looking pretty good.
They do have a substantial lead.
Yeah.
Now they're pretty squishy though, so fighting a Baron, especially against a Ryze, if Save catches them in the Baron pit with the debuff, the MR Shred, and then uses his ult, it could be deadly. So Samsung, they just need to play it patient. Blue, continue sieging turrets, continue using that advantage that you've got in terms of vastly superior siege and questionable engage. I mean, for Gorilla, if they're sieging, Gorilla, okay, he throws out the Solar Flare, counteracted by a Tidal Wave, and then what? NaJin has no more engage. That's it.
Pretty much. NaJin waiting. Oh, there's the gate. They wanted vision of him. They got it, and they might be able to catch Zefa. They're coming with the gold card. Oh, Gorilla jumps onto Dade. There's a Tidal Wave over the top, but can Samsung capitalize on it? Not this time. It looks like they back off.
Wow, nobody dying right there in spite of landing that 4-man Tidal Wave. Watch, kicked out Spirit so that he couldn't assassinate Save, who is getting rather low. Of course, even though Save does have a lot of tankiness right now, that Kha'Zix has a ton of armor penetration and so can cut through easier than most.
Well, Gorilla did a really good job of immediately just jumping onto Dade too when he came in and tried to gold card Zefa. I think that really helped them keep the fight from getting bad too.
Yeah, Dade chose not to go all in right there with his flash.
Or anything, yeah. Which in retrospect was a good idea. Oh, but they're going to do a lot of poke. Man, look at that. Spirit trying to catch up. Tons of poke. And if they get NaJin low enough, this could be a possible Baron.
Well, you just can't siege because once Kog'Maw, oh, Flash Force from Watch.
Oh boy.
You just can't deal with this Kog'Maw because he's got the long range on the Bio-Arcane Barrage. Okay, he gets an auto off. Then he has his Phage passive, and he just chases you down the lane.
Yeah. Really nice aggro management, doing a lot of damage to that tier 2, and now the minions show up, it's going to be a dead turret. Not bad.
I really don't think this Twitch pick is working out. Zefa's gotten the kills, but they're just not able to translate into any kind of siege. It just doesn't synergize well with Nidalee.
Well, the great save flanks that we've heard so much about. Obviously, Shyvana's been banned, but you know he's been trying to sort of make it happen with Ryze. It just hasn't quite worked out, though.
Well, he just needs more scaling with Ryze is the problem. And Acorn,
Acorn just gets completely caught. But there's the gate, and Acorn going to try to make it happen. There's a wild growth, knocks up save, and he makes it out.
Wow, that was actually a little bit of a mind game right there because Save got a little scared when he saw the gate, but Dade actually wasn't able to get close enough to really use it effectively.
It was all to save Acorn, and it worked.
It did. The mind games worked out.
We're at the point in the game where the death timers are long enough that you really can't afford to lose people. It's better to use that ultimate.
Indeed, and with Samsung Blue so comfortably in the lead right now, it's just about not giving NaJin White Shield an angle back into this game.
It really is their game to lose. I mean, 5-2 in turrets, 13-5 in kills. Samsung way ahead. They just need to keep it and then close. Oh, no blue buff for Ggoong.
And they've done such a good job of denying Nidalee the blue. She is so dependent on that for extended sieges.
Well, it's not going to be too good this game.
Wow, very different build. Normally we see Kha'Zix go tanky a little bit earlier, but he's got such a large lead that he's been able to snap up a bunch of armor pen items on something you would see mostly with a top lane Kha'Zix more typically, but you can see because he's 3,000 gold up on Watch that he knows how much stronger he is.
Yeah. So Samsung going for a completely free dragon. No opposition at all. Nice leap, Spirit. Jeez, this guy got to the finals? What a noob.
Yeah, even missing that leap with the evolved wings. That's like next level.
How do you do that? He's like, all right, I'll just walk out of the dragon pit. Nobody saw that. Don't worry, it's fine. A lot more impressive people to watch.
Yeah, Acorn too. Love the Lich Bane. Of course, common item on Lulu, but in this case, again, it magnifies that danger that they possess with the siege. And I just don't see how NaJin's going to be able to come back into this one unless they get a miracle pick.
Taking out the wards, keeping control over the Baron pit. Heart will recall, it looks like.
Kog'Maw's just so annoying when it comes to Baron control. There goes Talisman.
Yeah, and actually they're going to come in. Dade gets solar flared. He's going to flash ahead, though, taking a lot of damage.
Wow, Gorilla has been so on point with the solar flares.
Yeah.
He has hit Dade now twice. The instant he came out of his ultimate, perfect timing,
Yeah.
and it's prevented him from getting that engage. Dade had to use flash right there. He took a spear as a result of that as well, because the last time, of course, Dade got his Zhonya's down like a microsecond before the solar flare stunned him. This time, not enough time. Didn't get the Zhonya's, takes a spear, wastes his flash.
Yep.
NaJin is doing a good job of dragging this one out.
Yeah, and if they do that long enough, they can have that rise that scales really well. Twitch is going to keep getting stronger, has the Infinity Edge, a lot of stuff.
Dade has bought a QSS. He's tired of this.
Yeah, I would be too.
But I think that's a good buy. Again, he knows his team is ahead. What is the question? What is your win condition? What is stopping you from winning this game right now? It's that solar flare, because it's preventing you from getting the engage that you need for the rest of your team to catch up for that good tidal wave. Go ahead, grab it. You have the gold lead. You'll be even in items otherwise, and now you have a better chance of closing the game.
Yep, really intelligent buy. And Samsung taking a moment just to clear out their jungle, and then I'm sure the Baron dance will continue. A lot of farm for save. Has a lot of items now.
And that's the hope for NaJin. 6-item rise. But I don't even think the problem is that 6-item rise still can't engage.
Yeah, it's true. He needs a way to get to the fight.
Absolutely. And they try to engage a solar flare. Well, there's your tidal wave. There's your glitter lance. There's your polymorph. Save is not getting into that fight.
Yep. And even if he does try to burst someone down, there's wild growth as well. So there's just not a lot of ways for him to make that utility work for him.
He's got to get a flank, and then they have to bait out the tidal wave. That's the only way.
He's got to pull a safe flank.
Yeah, he does. If he gets onto Kog'Maw with the flank, he may be able just to instantly blow him up.
Yeah.
But that, I think, is a real long shot.
Well, Samsung Blue putting the pressure on now in this mid lane. They're going to just turn over to Baron probably as well. Got to get that vision back, if they can.
Wow, Dade, bold, farming out the bot wave.
This is really a bit brave. It does mean that Samsung has to pull back. And NaJin, you think they just might go for it?
No.
Okay, Dade's already coming back up, yep.
No, he's got his ult, so he could run, and especially because he has his ghost up as well. If he just presses his ghost and then starts running up, he can close that gap. There we go.
Okay. They want to see where people are. He's actually teleporting, but only over to the mid lane.
He just teleported a little further up the lane just to check and make sure, but now they've got an advantage. Because of that ult, they know they cut him off, and they've got a lot of free damage onto this tower.
And they're going to actually get the tower. Oh, no, they don't. It's so low. They don't get a flash. Solar Flare doesn't end up working Zenith play, though. There's a nice response with that tidal wave. Kog'Maw gets his first victim. They keep Swift alive. Now safe. A bit caught. Deft coming in. Deft already with a triple kill. It was so fast. Save still alive, but a near ace might as well be one. There goes the inhibitor, and they're going to close. There is nothing but a rise, stopping Samsung Blue from taking game number 3. And there's the flash. They want to go in and save, bursting him down, and they'll get him. It's an ace, and Samsung Blue will put themselves one game away from winning Champion Spring. GG.
And that ult was so good.
Yeah.
Now they knew they had control over the bottom side jungle of NaJin White Shield. So either the ult was going to catch somebody out of position, or they were going to know exactly where they were so that they could just rush the mid lane.
Yep.
And when you have the Kog'Maw, when you have the Lulu with the Lich Bane, if you can zone them out and force them to go back in through the top lane, that tower goes down. So fantastic Twisted Fate play.
It really was beautiful. And you know, the one time the Solar Flare didn't connect like it needed to for Gorilla, that was the end of the game. And I mean, credit to Gorilla for playing so well, but
let's be real, even if it had connected like it should have, QSS and the tidal wave, and that's it. You just can't run into that composition.